I wish my van went the wrong way and took me to Santa's. I'm Sam.
If you want an amazing credit sequence in the front and incredible holiday swipes, let your 12-year-old do it for a school project. I'm Jackie.
Croquet, anyone? No, seriously, you don't have a choice. You have to do croquet or else. I'm Justin, and this is Santa's Summer House on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello, and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I am your co-host, Jackie, and as always, Sam Sandwich Man is here with me, and our host, Justin, who I just totally, faced him. Eat shit. I got to say at the beginning.
That's like the fifth time you've done that.
I know, but every once in a while I still like to do it. It's like a power struggle thing at the house. It's like eating the last cookie or...
The last cookie.
or drinking.
I am God!
That's right. Or getting the last soda. You're like, fuck you.
Yeah, you should really up the ante next time you steal the open from him and be like, and now our benevolent host, Monsignor Grumpy Pants.
It's like she's got the powers of the Beyonder suddenly. But she still didn't finish it because we got to introduce this movie. Starring Cynthia Rothrock, Gary Daniels, Daniel Bernhardt, and Chris Mitchum. Oh, and Kathy Long. Is that
Kathy
her name?
Long.
Yeah.
Let's just get
Tess.
that out of the way right now.
And
all
Tess
of
the
these
dog.
martial arts stars, whatever. Kathy Long won 5 fucking consecutive kickboxing championships.
Yeah, no, she was a real deal.
Which one was that?
Brenda.
The one on Quaaludes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maud? What the fuck was her name? Zadie. Yeah. And Chris Mitchum. I don't know if we mentioned him in his second appearance on the show, and probably not his last. From 2012, Santa's Summer Home, currently streaming on Amazon Prime.
Also, that's not Justin Bieber.
Right?
Like, it's not. It's some kid. Doesn't matter who he is. But
And Justin
he's got
Bieber
a
as Andy.
tattoo on his arm, and
Right?
he looks just like Justin Bieber. I'm thinking that it's really Justin Bieber, and the Biebs was just like, oh, I can't be in your DeCouteau, or I can't be in your movies, David DeCouteau, son of a bitch.
DeCouteau.
It's DeCouteau is how he pronounces it. I had to finally... It's taken me a long time to figure out what the fuck is going on with David DeCouteau.
Okay.
But I finally made it through, went into the rabbit hole, came out unscathed. Have a lot of respect for this guy. Don't know if I'll like any of his movies.
We watched I looked through our catalog, and the only thing that we watched of his, even though he's been on the radar for a significant amount of time, Jackie and I watched one with Richard Grieco and Tawny Katane called After Midnight, and I don't remember it at all.
I saw Creepazoids, and I don't remember anything that happened in that movie.
Okay, all right. Isn't he also the guy that does those 616 shirtless men movies?
1313, I'll get to that. I'm just going to go right now.
Okay, go.
What?
Oh.
First off, Sam, let's talk about the most important star. Tess.
The dog.
Tess the corgi.
That dog does a really good job holding still.
Yeah, that dog does a really good Winston impression as well because they look the same.
Knowing the rate at which David DeCouteau makes his movies, that dog does a real good job holding still, because he's not going to, he's going to give the dog 2 chances to be in the movie, and then he's moving on. Actors get 3 chances to be in the movie, and then he's moving on. Dogs get 2 chances.
Here's the rules, Pooch. You want to make it to the big leagues in this town?
Yeah, but he was in multiple scenes.
Yeah. No, Tess stole the show. I think Tess is a girl dog.
It might be.
Yeah.
He worked for Corman and Charles Band, but he's probably like Charles Band's Fred Olen Ray.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Corman's got Wynorski and Fred Olin Ray whenever he needs to fill a spot on a shelf.
Ah, okay.
You have a week to make me a movie. Sounds good. There it is. It's on the shelf.
Here you go.
And that's what DeCouteau did for Charles Band. And he said his career came up in the VHS era. So that's what it was, is there was shelf space and he could make the movie cheaply and fastly enough that he would fill the shelf space when it needed to be filled.
Which is really saying something, because Charles Band's movies take him about 2 weeks to make. So, when you need a fast guy and you have to be faster than your boss, who's Charles Band, you're a fast guy.
He's a fast guy. The talking cat, ! Is one of the other popular riffers for him. It was made a little bit after this, another family movie. He shot that in 3 days.
That's
What?
insane.
I bet he shot this one in 3 or 4.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like, how do you get people to memorize their lines and shit that fast?
They have to show up knowing their lines.
Or you have a very lengthy croquet sequence where everybody just freelances and ad-libs.
People walking downstairs.
Yes, people walking
cars,
downstairs.
driving. There is a lot of filler, and I'm not going to give him any shit for it because he fucking makes these things in like a week.
Right.
Just play the... And that's... You see reviews where they're like, oh, the acting's not very good. You put 10 Academy Award-winning actors in this situation, and they're going to look exactly the fucking same.
Exactly. Tom Hanks is like, what the fuck? Croquet? Seriously?
Yeah. It's all... People don't realize how many close-ups they're watching and how many setups those close-ups take, and that this is what anyone looks like when you have to rely on wide shots.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like an awkward doofus because people are awkward doofuses.
You turn Idris Elba into Gary Daniels in fucking 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I thought Gary did a great job. I thought Bernhardt was charming. I was like, because you really see what somebody can do if they're like long take wide shot. You can see their whole body. You can see all of their awkwardness. Most actors get protected from this shit. I'm watching it and I'm like, these martial artists have gotten pretty goddamn good at acting. Kathy you need to bring it up a little bit, Kath.
She doesn't have quite the filmography that Cynthia Rothrock does, though.
He probably doesn't even try to he just kind of looked at her like, are you going to come up? And she just goes, I got kicked in the face a lot. I'm just doing my thing, man.
Leave me be.
So the most interesting thing about David DeCouteau is that he was the one who really decided, and I don't know, we'll see if this is a more significant piece of film history, 20, 30 years from now. Mm-hmm. He's the one that's like, Charlie, the Arkoff method. What? If the Arkoff method is the right way to do this, why did teenage girls go to Titanic 40 fucking times?
Right.
And he gives Charles Band the script, and he's like, I don't get it. There's 8 guys and 1 girl. No one wants to see that. And he's like, every teenage girl in America apparently does. There's the catch to support that.
Right.
And so his first experiment, Charlie was like, all right, same deal. You lose money, fired. I guess you've been doing this for a while, kid. Go for it. It's called Voodoo Academy, and he claims it's the first 4-women horror movie. And he himself is gay, and he's like, the best part about making horror movies for teenage girls is that gay men will really like them too. Yeah. And that's what the 1313 movies are. Those are actually intended for teenage girls, and, we're going to pick up the gay dudes on this one as well. They're just a bunch of shirtless men running around in their underwear. It's never gets past PG-13, no language. These are just streaming for teenage girls. This is like teaching young girls how to double click their mouse for the first time, I guess.
It's Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool.
Yeah. Also, the answer to why 1313 is incredibly less interesting than I thought it was going to be. You just put a number up front and you index better on streaming services.
Oh, that's
this guy. It's like, just is about selling the product. And
it's like AAA Auto Repair.
Yup.
That sucks.
1313 might be the address to Charles Band's house. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to think that's Charles Band's house. It can't be his. It might be his. Did you guys notice the statue, sort of, the wood sculpture that was like...
Yeah, we have some weird things to talk about in this movie, that's for sure.
No, that's a penis thing.
Yeah, it literally had a penis.
It was somebody went, well, that tree looks like a man with a wiener.
Yep.
And then somebody put some boots on it and called it a sculpture.
Now it's a drag man hooker statue with a heart on in our house. In Santa's house, nonetheless.
Santa's very nouveau.
Yeah.
Well, he also had that mermaid statue, too. That was, or sconce, I guess it would be called.
A bust.
That was mounted up by the stairway, too.
Hey, is this some kind of bust? Yeah, it's very impressive, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if this is his house or not. I can't confirm that. I can't confirm whose house this is, but he shot so many movies in here. It's like,
right.
This has got. If this is his house, he has done very well for himself with his business, because that shit's in Malibu and huge.
Right.
That's
I would like to go there.
But I don't know how well he's doing, because he obviously cannot afford to water the grass.
Right? Santa's yard sucks.
There's a whole thing. You can't. They're taking grass out in L.A.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But this was 2012. Wait,
that
was right in the middle of the drought. So, yeah.
The drought, they live in the fucking desert. There's no fucking drought.
Good point. Touche.
Yeah, when the drought's 30 years long, you live in a desert. Actually, the drought's been 50 years. Holy shit, this is a desert. They put on commercials, the drought. Be careful of it's not a fucking drought. You live in the desert.
It's just Chinatown,
There's no water
Jack.
ever.
It's just Chinatown. Okay. What else you got, Sam? Anything? Any numbers on this? No, of course not.
No, there's no number. It's because it's direct to streaming, so.
Right. Well, or
no, direct to whatever.
Yeah, wherever they can find a home.
Whatever shelf it could end up on.
Do we want to? I guess we'll just address it up front rather than wait till the end, because it's kind of a big deal and it might have something to do with Sam's research. Why are there 4 martial arts stars in this very G-rated Christmas movie?
What? Who's all the martial arts stars?
Gary Daniels, Fist of the North Star, of course.
Okay.
Cynthia Rothrock, dance karate champion, whatever that's called.
Forms.
Yeah, Forms. Daniel Bernhardt is a massive stunt guy and was in basically any action movie you could ever think of.
Who was that?
Brian.
Brian,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
He's Agent Johnson in The Matrix.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the heavy, and he got to be in all the John Wicks too. Like, he's chummy with Keanu, and he's just an excellent martial arts performer.
Yeah, he's like Scott Adkins, but never takes leads.
Yeah, he is the opposite path to when you're that good and you just can't break through despite being decent enough actor, good looking. You have it all, but for whatever reason you don't get the big leads. He just decides, I'll take the take the heavies. Give me any heavy you want.
Yeah. I think American Kickboxer 2 was his first movie, and then he took over that franchise. And then Kathy Long, who was a 80s kickboxing champion. 4 martial arts stars in this Christmas movie. And then if you want to include Chris Mitchum from his fine work in American Hunter.
He's got a bunch of martial arts movies.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, what the fuck? Whose decision was this?
In an inside joke, he's done movies for all of them. He's done every genre. He's done some martial arts movies with these people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
His list is it's 167 fucking directorial credits on this guy.
Sure, but you
directorial, but that's just not his filmography, right?
Who?
Mitchum.
No,
DeCouteau is directed 167 movies.
Yeah. But we're getting away from the I don't know how you guys aren't just like scratching your heads about this as well. Sure, you sneak in Cynthia Rothrock and then, some other people that aren't martial artists. Sure, she acts. You do Gary Daniels. Why you would do Gary Daniels, I don't know, but you got him, and then some other ladies, Trisha Helfer, say. And then you've got a Christmas movie. But why four fucking martial artists? Somebody's just made that decision.
Got the answer.
Okay.
David DeCouteau knows everybody. Those people are all friends. They'll stay at his house for the weekend and make a movie.
You don't think it was intentional? Just like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend?
It's a great fun joke that they all talk about. And that's when you read the interviews with him, he's like, oh, I just call him on the phone and ask him, and this ends up what's happening. It's like, hey, you want to do this? Oh, I bet Gary would want to do this. Gary, call Chris. Okay, I'm going to call Daniel Bernhardt. All right, let's do the movie. Like, it's just, he on a talking cat, he had Eric Roberts do the voice of the cat, I guess. He just called him on the phone. He's like, hey, you want to be the voice of the cat in my movie? And he's like, sure, when do you want to do it? He's like, right now, I've got the lines. Just repeat after me, and I'll use this conversation for the fucking movie.
So you're saying that this film actually is a documentary of being what it's like to be David DeCouteau's friend. He's Santa. You just show up at his house and you learn some life lessons, and then you go home after the weekend's over. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Let's just address Jackie's big thing. I did a wipe count. If you have not seen this movie, you must, because of the wipes. Just the wipes are enough to show up for. There is 19 shitty Christmas-themed wipes. 19 of them!
I lost track after 7. I was trying to keep track, and I was like, I think we've already seen this one before. The Christmas balls was popular, and the snowman they used more than once.
Uh-huh.
I think they only had like 3 or 4, and they just kept reusing them.
I mean, cheesiness aside of the actual, like, the Clippy from Microsoft provided you with these wipe images, these JPEG. They might even be bitmaps with him. Who knows? But there's 19 of them. If you were George Lucas and you did 19 wipes, we'd be like, seriously, dude? Overkill.
Yeah. I don't. Here's another problem I have with watching his stuff is that knowing what I know, I look at everything he does and I go, I wouldn't have done any of this differently. None of it.
I wouldn't either. And it's everything that is terrible. Everything you could do to make a terrible movie, he does in this, and I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Oh, yeah. Not ironically, but because if he did it right, you would have nothing. But this is legit bad awesomeness.
Yeah.
It's great.
And it is probably an ironic joke for him where he's like, ah ha ha, I made a Christmas movie with martial arts stars and not one kick was thrown. Also, Justin Bieber took his name off my movie.
I personally liked all of the swipe shots to the beach that they never went out on.
Right.
But, hey, it was right there, I guess.
No, it wasn't. They're on top of a fucking mountain. They're nowhere near the beach.
Why did they have the beach then?
Because it fills time.
And somebody left their binoculars out there.
Binoculars?
Binoculars. They're going to get taken by the ocean.
That's what happens when you put the binos up to your face in the wrong way. They become binoculars because it makes things look farther away. Hey, this doesn't work.
So that seal that you think, oh my God, that seal looks really angry. It looks like it's going to punch somebody in the nuts. And then you take off your binoculars and
it's right in front of you.
Yeah, and it kicks you in the nuts.
And you're like, binoculars. Why would a seal kick you in the nuts? They don't have legs.
They do it with their fin. Hiya! That was the karate in this movie.
Yeah, too much.
Binoculars are better than minoculars.
Oh, yeah. Sucking on power cables.
No, I'm not. I'm not sucking on the Millennium Falcon. I'm a minocular. So bad.
So the third dumbest joke we've told so far. Okay, all right, let's get into this. The film starts out with a expositionary narrative by Andy, the 12-year-old boy who has prison tats.
He's 17, sir.
Okay, well, he seems a little innocent in this film, even though
they establish his age in the film as 17.
Okay. All right. He comes out and tells us it's not even fucking Christmas. What the hell is this movie about?
Summer.
It's there. We're not even doing Christmas this time of year, but hey, I just want you to know that we're talking about it as preface in this movie. It's July and we're in California and there's no snow. Thanks, Andy. Good stuff, buddy. Little dickhead.
Yeah, he's probably a nice kid, but he looks so much like Justin Bieber. I just hate him.
Yeah. And then he goes on to say, yeah, me, my mom and dad, and some other folks who aren't important enough for me to talk about right now are headed to a resort down in Pismo Beach. Pismo Beach, known for its fine resorts.
I don't know about that.
No, nobody goes to Pismo for resorts. You go to fucking Malibu.
Malibu.
Yeah. Santa
Carmel,
Barbara.
I don't know.
Carmel.
Yeah, all of that by Pismo's sort of bed and breakfasty.
Yeah, it's very bed and breakfast. I love Pismo. Pismo is my second favorite place on this entire planet.
So what's Andy going to do for this whole trip then?
What are any of these people going to do for a whole trip? They took, I guess, a shuttle from the airport. Is that what Mike is? Is the shuttle driver from whatever, from LAX to Pismo Beach?
No,
Nope.
He's just the shuttle driver from LA to wherever sort of outside of. I've done this before.
You drove a shuttle
have
from
shuttles in LA because of how fucking extensive the freeway system is.
all the way to Pismo. That's like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah. And that's why the van's full of people that don't know each other.
Right. And have not spent any time talking to each other over this 3-hour trip to Pismo fucking Beach.
But then they were shipwrecked on an island.
Right.
And the 3-hour tour turned into building stuff out of coconuts.
And at one point, Batman and Robin show up. I think the Flintstones showed up at one point. I'm pretty sure the Fonz jumped a shark at some place on that trip. So I don't remember what happens to anybody at Gilligan's. Isn't there a bunch of guest stars on Gilligan's? They show up and be like, you're rescued, and then they don't get rescued.
Yeah, they all get their stuff. I think that's later in the series. They all get their stuff for the guest stars to get rescued, and then somehow the guest stars get rescued without them getting rescued. Gilligan fucks it up again, and they're like, "Oh, Gilligan," which would result in them killing him.
Oh, I only have room for one hot lady, and actually, that's weird that I'm talking about Baywatch, because there was a Gilligan's episode of Baywatch where both Bob Denver and what's her name, Marianne, show up at Baywatch and have to be rescued.
We are so far off track from this Christmas movie.
Well, the Christmas movie also gets way off track too, because Pismo goddamn beach. What the fuck? Okay, so they drove through a fog that they couldn't afford to put in the movie. They couldn't even do it in post.
No, it was just, pre-credit fog.
Yeah, pre-credit. By the way, this weird fog crept in and we drove through it. And now they're lost. And so Mike, the driver, who is in this movie for some reason, takes them to a mansion and is like, I don't even know where we are, but you're here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bernhardt's giving him a bunch of shit. Like, he asked him if he's simple. Like, that's really a dick thing to do.
Yeah, all right.
Are you simple?
Well, is Mike simple?
I think he is.
I mean, he did drive through a fog and then ended up in a mansion and is like, well, I'm lost. I'm just going to stop driving here at this person's house.
He's not simple. He's just really stoned, and the fog was inside the van. It's California.
Okay, so Cynthia Rothrock comes out of the house. Nobody knocks on the door. She just has like there's a van in my yard sense. And she's got cookies, those friendly lady cookies. And here's some cookies.
She's wearing sunglasses in the house.
Yeah, right?
She doesn't take them off for like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I did have to poop and we had to stop it. And it was right after she took off her sunglasses and I was like, 20 minutes! She's had those fuckers on for 20 minutes!
We're already 20 minutes of the movie in?
We're not even there yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
But she hasn't even taken off her sunglasses yet.
Right.
This is like, we're still in like the 10-minute thing where stupid Andy talked for fucking 7 minutes on a car ride that, took 10.
Right. She doesn't give them directions. She's just like, here, have these cookies. And they're like, okay, what is happening right now? And then Mike's like, well, I don't know what to do. So Brian goes, well, I think you should drive down the hill and see if you can find the resort. and prepare to come back in a couple days. We'll need to get enough of our stuff for a couple days.
That is not what happened.
Yes,
No.
it is. He literally says that, and then later they're like, well, we can't get back to the resort. Might as well stay here. But they unload all their luggage, Jackie. They are planning on staying there for a couple days without even being invited.
No.
So their luggage is still in the van when he drives down the hill?
Stop right there.
They pull the van.
Cynthia
Goddamn it.
Rothrock says, why don't you drive down the hill
Mhm.
and see if you can find the resort?
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, why don't you folks grab your bags and come inside and freshen up? And then when he finds the resort, he can come back and get you. And then she gives him her card
And
to call when he's on his way back.
Brian specifically says, okay, we'll need to have enough stuff for 2 days.
So they get all of the luggage out of the van because everybody's only got one bag in this movie. And van driver guy goes away. He calls later.
Bye, Mike.
And says, hey, they double booked the resort. There's nowhere for these people to stay. And my van broke down. And so she's like, well, you guys can stay here. And they're like, oh, all right.
When they've already made that decision.
Well, it's a swingers thing.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not leaving my luggage with Mike, so I'm not going to give the movie demerits for that.
You know what? I'm going to go with fucking Mike because he's the guy that drives me to the resort where I'm supposed to stay, not some random mansion up on the hills with God knows what's going on in there. There could be people shoving fists up each other's butts and filming it and putting it on the internet. And I don't know these people.
They all ate the cookies. So they're going to agree with whatever Mrs. Claus says because she's put something in the cookies.
Okay.
Those are the best cookies they've ever had.
They do say that.
Oh, my God. I didn't even put that together. She is a drug addict pusher.
A drug addict pusher.
I mean, a druggie pusher. Shit, you know what I'm trying to say.
She pushes drug addicts at you.
She
Take
finds
this one.
him and she pushes him down. Take it, junkie.
The drug addict pusher. And then Santa Claus comes out and he does that mean thing where you kneel behind somebody's legs and then she pushes them so they fall on their back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Total dick move. Because Santa and Mrs. Claus are terrible people.
This is what they do for their summer fun.
Yeah.
They're like, I am so sick of being nice. Let's fuck with some junkies.
Yeah. 364 days a year, fuck those two.
And I like how when Mike leaves, she gives him her business card and then like massively stinks eye him until he's like, well, I guess I'll be going then. Like she's like, get the fuck out of here, Mike. If I need anything, you got my card. Get out of here.
Did you notice that he put an actual number on there and then made the guy cover it with his thumb rather than doing the 555 thing?
Why would Mrs. Claus have business cards? What are you supposed to do with them? Call her up and be like, hey, my toilet's backed up. I mean, what do you do with Mrs. Claus? I mean, no offense to Mrs. Claus, but she only has one job, and that's to make cookies for Santa.
Might be a book club situation where she's trying to recruit some friends over the Zoom.
Okay, all right.
You know, like I'm lonely up there.
Bridge
the elves
club.
can't read.
Yeah, bridge club.
We made sure to keep them uneducated so that we could control them in the factories. We've also told them about the Santa Claus religion, and since they can't read, we have our sermon every Sunday, and they know better than to try to read. So I've got to get some friends that can read books so that we can talk about Danielle Steele and 50 Shades of Grey.
Very elaborate scenario you've painted there to explain why she has cards, so I thank you for your time.
Thank you. I sometimes just go on tangents and let my mind wander into weird spots.
Because you've been eating the cookies as well. All right, so then things get pretty wild right here because I don't know what causes it, but Gary Daniels, his character, Dean gets really fucking mad, and that's when he and Cynthia Rothrock get into a karate fight, and to the death. It's one of those, like, I'm going to kill you. Both of them say that, and they have a gentleman's agreement, even though she's a lady, to play by those rules. But then they have to team up against a common enemy, which is Daniel Bernhardt. And so that's when the movie really gets action-packed.
Yeah. Even that's when Chris Mitchum shows up, and even though he's old and portly, he sort of jumps off the balcony, and the rest of them are unable to best Daniel Bernhardt because he is Agent Johnson after all.
Right. It's a big everybody gets knocked down, and then one person fights him, and then another person fights him, and it's all very fast paced. Man, what a great scene.
He even manages to impale somebody on the penis statue.
Oh, that was Mike. Mike was gonna get that. Mike's useless. Nope, that doesn't happen. God damn it. They just do a meet and greet.
Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I like dick.
Yeah, so let's get these characters down. Dean is a businessman of some sort. Don't know what he does. Even his kid doesn't know what he does because the movie can't be bothered to create that sort of backstory. And I guess Mom, Sadie, is also a businesswoman who's working too hard.
With that hair, she is not being that successful.
Yeah, man, her. Ooh,
Oh, God.
bad perm.
And I mean, this is, you said 2012, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, what the fuck is happening? This is like, this is the hair that I wanted in the 80s. So fucking bad when my mom took me to the hair school and they fried it off and I looked like a French poodle for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
This is the hair I wanted.
Well, I don't think you know that much about kickboxing, Jackie, but there is a weird side effect that if you get kicked in the head, your hair gets curly. They call it cauliflower hair.
Oh my God,
damn, that's terrible.
That is so lame. Apparently, she's been kicked all around.
Yep. It's a scientific fact. Okay, and then we've got Molly and Constance, who are sisters, 21 and 31, we find out later, who own a catering business together that was passed on to them by their parents who died in a flaming car accident in front of them, traumatizing both of them. And
What?
Yeah.
I think the mom had cancer and the
Oh.
dad died in a car accident.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's just say they both exploded at some point.
Actually,
and
Agent Johnson decapitated both of them, and he's seeking revenge by bedding down the victims of his murder's daughter.
Right.
Nope, that doesn't happen either.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so they have Molly wants to be a photographer, and Constance wants her to work on the catering business and stop being so distracted by her childish ways, even though she's fucking 21.
Yeah, but they keep referring also to meat on a stick with her, with the
Right?
younger one.
Yeah.
I'm like, is she the one that you put out in front of the bakery and be like, does anybody want to put their meat in my stick?
Oh, so it's like she's the eye candy to
I don't
bring in
fucking know.
business?
It just seemed like a weird thing to keep saying to somebody.
Yeah.
No more meat on a stick for you. What the fuck does that mean?
I'm eating the meat on the stick, or I am the meat on. I don't.
You ain't nothing but a corn dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too vague. I need more info. Okay, and then Brian, Daniel Bernhardt's character, who is a rocket scientist and is quite proud of it, and uses that to pick up chicks, I guess.
Because if there's anything that chicks really dig, it's hearing about quantum physics and big words that they have never heard before. They can't get into the conversation because they cannot pronounce it.
So are you implying that women can't be rocket scientists?
I'm just saying the average Joe is like nuclear physics, explosionitis, lasertron, back it up, into my butthole. Bam. Now bang away.
So, like, if you walked, bang away. So, if you walked up to Daniel Bernhardt and he started talking about rocket science, you're like, well, okay, sorry, Pax, you just went over my head. I'm going to move on to the next one.
I'm out.
I'm going to be like, bang away. And then he'll be like, what? I'll be like, see, we're not on the same path, okay? Let me just pull down my pants. Bang away.
All right. Okay. Here we go. So Andy's got a little thing for Molly. That's pretty clear. He hits on her already, and he explains that he has no idea what's going on with his parents. Mike calls. That's when he says he made it, and he can't come get them. And then Cynthia Rothrock's like, okay, well, you're staying here. Looks at everybody and says, let me show you to your room. I'm sorry, our room? Because repeatedly in this movie, people fuck up their lines, and they don't get another take. You want to try that one again? Nope. Okay.
No, this is...
Camera's already over there.
Yep.
Not to mention that maybe in the original script, they were all just going to be led down to the candy cane dungeon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's literally my next note. In quotation marks, is where Brian says, you're going to kill all of us in our sleep, aren't you? because this seems fucking weird, man. That my hairs are standing on the back of my neck when fucking Cynthia Rothrock comes out with some poison cookies and is like, let me show you to your room. I'm going to die here.
Yeah, I think it's a little later for me that I write down the note. So they're axe murderers, right?
Right?
So I don't know if I find this to be that weird. And let me tell you, gentlemen, why.
Okay.
Because every time that I've ever traveled on the California coastline, by myself anyway, not with Justin.
Spit take.
Justin just spit his drink all over the wall.
Every time you've traveled in California by yourself, you've got invited into a lady's house and given poison cookies and then been murdered? What? Where are you going with this?
I have been invited. Okay, so I was on a cruise. This is the first time it happened. I was about, I want to say I was about 23. And I was at the night show on the cruise boat with these nice people that were sitting in the booth with us. And they were from the area where the boat was docked. And they were like, would you like to spend the rest of the week at our house? And I was like, no, thank you.
And they were like, tell me, Jackie, do you like movies about gladiators?
You're like, cookies? And then, they proceeded to meet up with me every night at the disco. And then... Okay, and this has happened to me like 5 or 6 times. I'm just telling you guys the highlights.
I guess you got the wobbly H look about you.
I guess so. So the next time I was on the Queen Mary, I am married to Justin at this point, and I'm there on a work trip with a coworker who got too drunk and passed out in the room. So I went upstairs to the bar to smoke cigarettes on the deck, and I'm sitting there and I'm drinking alone. And this old guy comes walking up and he's like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm here for this. I don't know what he said. Anyway, it wasn't important. He was this older guy.
It was Chris Mitchum.
It was Chris Mitchum, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what he looked like, if I'm quite honest. But he had like dyed black hair. And he's like, my wife and I are staying on this boat. And we actually live about an hour outside of here. Would you like to come back to our house after your conference and stay for a week?
That is so fucking weird.
And it's happened to me like 5 or 6 times.
Huh.
Would you like to stay the rest of the weekend with us? Would you like to stay a week at our house? Here's my phone number. Call me when you're ready to come down.
So Southern California, we could add now to the list of blonde hair, fake boobs, bad traffic, and
loves brown-haired ladies with big tits and a big ass.
And palm reading. There you go. That's LA in a nutshell, apparently.
And they like ladies who smoke cigarettes and drink too much.
Okay. All right.
That is me to a T. And they love me.
Defined a city. Well done. Okay.
But I was never axe murdered or given poison cookies.
I still don't believe it. I would not stay at this person's house. I would be, look, Mike, come get me the fuck out of here. This is not it at all. I feel weird.
But they've got free candy cane dildos.
Right. Okay. Din time. And coincidentally, they have just so happen to have the exact number of chairs that they needed to host 6 people in their house. Weird.
Well, they didn't want to make Andy sit at his own kid's table.
He should. All right. So Chris Mitchum comes in. He introduces himself as Pop. And he has a list of names in his pocket. He's like, hey, I know you, Brian, and how do you know who I am? Oh, I got a list of names. And Brian's like, are you checking it twice? Because Brian's onto him already. You're Santa.
Brian just blurts it out. We are spending the weekend with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and I am so getting a candy cane popped up my ass. Yes!
Yep.
Please don't lick it to a point first.
Oh, God damn it. And then after dinner, they retire to the living room, or is it their garage? Because there's a fucking car in there.
This was the weirdest living room. It also had like a huge sneaker on one of the shelves and a motorcycle helmet and a big old hubcap.
Uh-huh. And a chair that looks like an electronic drum set.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom's friend CQ lived in California, and he would turn old cars into couches. That he sold. It's just, I just don't know. It was never really a thing. I always looked at it like that should have been turned back into a car.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, then you can relive your glory days in the privacy of your own home in the back of your VW Bug.
It's not the same unless you have a gear shifter going up your ass.
Yeah. I'm sure that they could put one in there. And then, it could have like this cup holder setting thing that you put on top of it so that people don't think you're weird. You'd be like, why do you have a gear shifter in this couch? And you're like, oh, that's a cup holder. And then when your friends leave, you pop that off.
My first car was a Ford Pinto, And when you made out in the back seat of it, you really couldn't because the transmission was essentially just this big, huge, massive chunk of hardware that bowed your back if you tried to lay on the back seats. And then the entire time you're making out, you're like, if we shake too much, is this car going to explode?
Good to know about your real life problems.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy making out in the Pinto, that's for sure.
Sam, the worst car you ever made out in?
The Pinto.
Okay, well, that's info.
Yeah, I had a Futura. My car was much bigger than his, albeit a year older, and it had a very spacious back seat. I could fit like 6 nutsacks in my car when we were in high school. Actually, that was the whole thing. We used to like cram 15 people into a fucking Escort. Where we grew up was stupid.
Yeah, right? And win. All right, so speaking of stupid, they decide to have a white elephant. Santa's like, hey, I got an idea. How about a white elephant? Little Christmas in July. And they're like, dude, all right, just say it. We know you think you're Santa. We don't need more proof. We don't need to go spy on you later and have you be talking about stuff to the elves. Just stop it.
Well, what should have given it away is the fact that he had a shirt on with himself on it. That's the vainest fucking move you can do.
He didn't? Or he did? I
Yeah,
didn't catch
all
that.
of his shirts that he had, all of his Hawaiian shirts were like Santa in the tropics.
Oh, I thought they were just Hawaiian shirts.
No, they were all Santa Claus in the tropics.
Oh.
So he is an ego fucking
That
maniac.
is really bad.
Egomaniac. I'm going to get Sam
Yeah.
one of those for Christmas. Just
No,
pictures
I'm-
of Sam.
Now gonna just make Hawaiian shirts of myself doing odd things like riding dolphins and
Uh-huh.
UFOs, whatever.
Doing taxes
Oh, that would be good. Just me at a desk.
on the beach.
Random pattern all over.
Yeah. I was thinking we could get Sam a shirt with his face on it, wearing a shirt with his face on it, and just do like that mirror effect thing. Just go into the nether. in
Yeah,
Sam's
anybody that looks at it disappears. They just dematerialize because they've seen infinity.
shirt. Right. I've gazed into the abyss. All right, so the list is Constant. Constance gets Nana, Cynthia Rothrock. Molly gets Brian. Brian gets Constance. Andy gets Molly. Dean and Sadie get each other. And for Andy's present, he gets to sleep on the couch. Because he doesn't even get a goddamn room.
Yeah, but Cynthia Rothrock is his.
I know.
She gets him something.
She's like, okay, well, it's bedtime, little boy. Time to go to 7:30 past your bedtime. Here's your couch to sleep on. And Andy's like, at the resort, I was going to have my own fucking suite. What the fuck is this shit?
Well, they were going to let him sleep in the car, but then they realized that the car couch was more expensive than their regular couch, and they were like, just in case he jizzes.
Do you think that just happens in the middle of the night when you're 17?
Yes.
No, that happens when you're like 13.
Oh.
It's very quick and doesn't last very long, and it's quite unfortunate because it's a lot of fun. Oh! I woke up messy. Must have had a good time.
That sucks.
So, as compensation for having to sleep on the couch, Santa's just gonna offer Andy, hey, buddy, how about we go curling later? What? Santa? What are you curling? It's July in California. How are we supposed? You got an ice rink in the basement? Son of a bitch. Making me false promises?
That would be pretty cool, though, if you did have your own private ice rink in the basement of your house.
And curling supplies? Who has curling supplies?
I think you can just use a tennis court and the curling stone and a broom, and then you just lubricate it with his parents' blood. You like curling, Andy?
You said you haven't been having a lot of fun with your parents?
I call this Dean and Sandy Stadium. Sadie, sorry. Oh, no, nobody's going to like that joke. God damn it.
Yep, sucker.
All right. So Molly's out running around taking pictures of taking pictures in secret because she has to hide her photography hobby from her sister, who will be like, stop that photography and get back to catering at
Get back with your meat on a stick.
Santa's house.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you just, oh my God, you can't just stop taking pictures for one goddamn minute.
We
Like,
can
every
get something
time
done.
Yeah, and they're not doing anything with meat and sticks. She can take pictures. It's fine.
Yeah, we're at Santa's house. I don't know if you noticed, but we're not catering today. Yes, we are. When you cater, you are a caterer 24/7, 100%. Every minute of every day, cater. That's how you make it in that business. Dedication, baby.
I would say, though, that, like, starting your own catering business or even any, like, restaurant, that's got to be some fucking hard work.
Oh, yeah.
And shit that I would never want to do. So I'm grateful for those people that do it, even if they fail, because I get to have their delicious food for that little bit.
What are your options here at Justin's catering service? Chef Boyardee.
Corn dogs. Mini corn dogs.
No, just Chef Boyardee. That's it. That's too many options, Jackie. I just make a big vat of... I basically make a bunch of Chef Boyardee in a bathtub. And it's not mobile, so if you plan on having the type of party where you would need Chef Boyardee, you have to come to my house and eat it out of the bathtub.
I went to that kind of a bathtub full of Chef Boyardee party one time. It was weird.
Did you get a Julio up your bum?
No, just like, that's not for eating. Okay, bye.
Oh, that was the same party that I threw where we sat in cakes, too, and put beans in our pants. Beans in your pants. That's good. Okay, so, where were we? Constance is going to make some Dutch apple pies for Nana. That's her present to her. I'm going to use your oven all fucking day and your own food and supplies and pick your apples in your apple vineyard that you've got. We see your backyard. There's clearly no apple vineyard out there.
Well, what she was really hoping is for the Albacore Baltimore Who's Your Friend game. And then she was going to just start pegging Matt. Or what was the character's name? Dean? No, not Dean. Rocket scientist guy.
The apple core Baltimore? What the shit are you talking about?
So you eat the apple, and then all you're left with is the core, right? And you go, apple core, and then your friend goes, Baltimore, and then you go, who's your friend? And then they pick somebody out, and then you fucking chuck your apple core at them. It is like the best fucking game ever with fruit. It was one of my favorite games in school. You know how many people I pissed off?
Like all of them?
I just can't imagine how many times your parents had to go meet with the teacher.
Right?
Just like
never.
all the time.
I think the only time they ever got called in is when I slapped my kindergarten teacher on the buns and was like, thanks, Toots.
I have been sexually harassed by a 5-year-old. Lock her up. This child's a menace.
Because it was the 80s, Sam. Nobody gives a shit if you get hit by an apple core.
I think they do.
It wasn't assault back then. It was just, that Sprat kid is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Weird. Then Santa gives some career advice to Dean because of his international business relations, Santa.
That's what he says.
I know, Santa. No, I don't want your career advice, but thank you. And then,
But don't you, though? Because, I mean, look at this house this guy's living in.
okay, where's Santa get his goddamn money?
Wait, is it Santa Corp?
Santa Corp.
He's got a bank account off the coast of Panama.
Because this is a nice house
Yeah.
in a nice location.
Got a pool. It's obviously got some acreage. Because you don't see any other houses in the shot. It's got a hot tub, and they have a corgi. You know how much corgis cost?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, we've got 2.
Yeah.
It's a butt raping, but they're totally worth
our
it.
Our student loans cost less than our fucking dogs. Yeah, Santa's pulling down like 7 figures, at least.
Sam, you were a Californian.
I can't even venture. I am not, actually. I lived there briefly. But that house has got to be worth like $7 or $8 million.
Yeah. Santa's on the take. Santa's He's cooking the books.
Do you think he's sending out the elves to hold up the tooth fairy?
Oh, maybe.
He's been doing it for like hundreds of years.
Oh, I think he's more like what's his name from Ozark? Jason Bateman. Justin Bateman. What's his name? Is it Justin Bateman or Jason Bateman?
Jason.
Okay. Yeah, that's who he is. He's the supreme guy up in the Antarctic that you call to, do a little laundering if you got to. And so he's cooking the books, living the dream.
Well, by a conversation that he has with Brian later, it would appear that Santa is the manufacturer of all the toys, so he's secretly the parent company to every toy company ever.
Aha.
So he's just like secret Bill Gates rich.
I think, we might need the SEC to look into this. It sounds like we've got some monopoly happening. Some
I don't think
antitrust.
the invasion of the North Pole won't go very well. He's offshore. They can't do a goddamn thing about it.
Steve Mnuchin's up there in a big fluffy coat going, God damn it, where do I find Santa?
Yeah.
I'm taking you down, Santa. Steve Mnuchin, famed taker downer of racketeering. See, he's not doing shit. He's in Santa's pocketbook.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So now here it is. The ladies come out and they're like, what you guys doing? Well, we're just about to play some croquet. Who wants croquet? And they play croquet.
For 20 minutes.
And it keeps going.
We did a timer on this. How long was this?
We timed it. We backed it up. We did the math. There is 10 minutes and 23 seconds literally of ad-lib croquet with some of the worst camera work that has ever existed.
Oh, yeah. It's when you're making them this fast, the best direction right here is no direction at all.
Uh-huh.
Just play the game of croquet. We'll get as much as we think we need. And I wouldn't do any better.
Do you think that they got 10 minutes and 23 seconds of croquet, or did they get like 7 hours of croquet?
I bet they got about 25 minutes to 30 minutes of croquet.
And they cut it down.
And they cut it down to 10.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, they also could not shoot around Andy's tattoo at this point, so that's when everybody sees his Justin Bieber tattoo.
Yeah. And also, at several points, Santa fucking cheats. Because he's teamed up with Andy. He's the referee. He's a non-biased third party. He's supposed to be overseeing this whole thing. He's like, here, Andy, let me show you how to do it. And takes his fucking croquet and starts hitting good shots for Andy. God damn it, Sandy, you cheating bastard.
Also, all of these people are only slightly better at croquet than the cast of The Room is at football.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but they definitely had like shots from the very first shot and then shots from like the end of the game. And then, we're going to go back to the middle of the game. Then we're going to go back to the first shots. It was like, oh, fuck. At one point, I thought it was going to be over because it's down to the last two people and they're trying to get it back to the pole. And I'm like, it's over. No.
Yeah, it's still going.
It went for like another 4 fucking minutes.
Oh, my God. It's still going. Jesus Christ. And eventually... it does end, thank God, with Gary Daniels throwing the whole fucking thing. He took a dive.
And they had to use all of it, because this thing's 90 minutes on the nose.
Right? And then Nana has somehow made sandwiches magically because she's been playing this croquet game the entire time, and as soon as it ends, she's like, I made some sandwiches. How did you?
They lock elves in the basement. You don't think they're cleaning that giant house by themselves, do you? They bring helpers.
Yeah.
And who else is going to take all those pictures of them on vacations that you see on the walls?
Uh-huh.
Like, there's obviously a third party that tags along on these trips.
We're going to skip a little bit. We learned that Dean and Sadie are having marital problems, and she feels guilty because he threw the game away for her. That was his Christmas present for her. And now she's poopy. She just lays in bed all day.
That's not what happened.
Okay,
God,
whatever.
you're such a man. No, it's a self-centered fuck you kind of thing where he was too lazy to actually think of an actual gift. So he took advantage of something in front of him that he knew he could just, okay, yeah, I did it.
Dude.
I did something for you. Now fuck off.
Dude, literally what he does is, yes, he cheats, and then means that he has to do the dishes. Later, her fucking Christmas present is telling him that she loves him. So, pot calling the kettle black. He actually accomplishes something. She's like, I got nothing else either. I love you. He's like, wow, greatest Christmas present ever.
You pull that shit every Christmas. So you know what? I wouldn't be throwing that too much under the bus, sir.
What'd you get me? Unwrap it. It's my words.
You're like, I got you this broom so you could ride around on it. I'm like,
You'd actually like that.
I would. If it actually flew and everything, I'd be like, oh my God, a broom, yes. And then I would brag it up.
Hey, that's your job, lady.
You want this house clean? Use your magic broom. I got you.
Yeah.
Got you a book of maps. This map here shows you the route from the kitchen to the laundry room.
What's this highway? Oh, the go fuck yourself highway?
Yeah.
This is where we keep the cleaning supplies so that you can scrub my toilet.
You totally did the thing that what's his name did on Saturday Night Live. You killed the bit, Jackie. We're done with that bit. You killed it.
Shot it with an arrow.
Okay. So Constance is wandering around being a total bitch to Molly as well. Brian's like, hey, do you think that blonde chick digs me? And Santa's like, I'm pretty sure. And hey, let's get in the hot tub. Let's go swimming in the hot tub. Let's go swimming and get in the hot tub.
And then Tess appears again.
Mm-hmm.
And just sits behind Santa and looks cute and awesome. And I was like, I'm back in. This dog is so great.
You guys want to get in the hot tub? 3 dudes in a hot tub? It's like 90 outside. Hard pass. Hard pass.
The dog is like, you guys are dumb fucks. I'm only here to save one of you if you pass out.
So Constance finds Molly in the bedroom and she's like, would you stop it? You're supposed to be helping out our host. And Molly's like, I am helping out our host, when literally the only thing she was doing was looking at a wall.
She's been taking secret pictures for Santa.
I know, but right now she's like, I am helping. What are you helping with? Look at you keeping the wall up with your eyeballs.
I know, but I think that's their relationship. She's like, you're not helping. Yes, I am. We have to get stuff done. You're not doing anything. You just yell at me all the time.
Right?
Well,
So
not
I
to
stare
mention,
at the
like-
wall and you yell at me.
Well, and not to mention, this is supposed to be like a vacation at a resort.
Uh-huh.
And now they're the fucking cooks for everybody.
Right.
Like, how shitty is that? You're a caterer. Oh, great. So you could cook for everybody all weekend.
Oh.
Fuck you. Why don't you ask the rocket scientist to build you a better grill?
Yeah, it's like when the masseuse meets, so like goes on a date, the hot masseuse, and what do you do for a living? I'm a masseuse. Oh, really? Well, I've got a kink in my neck that really could. Oh, God damn it! I hate you people.
Yeah.
I'm a masseuse. What do? I'm a guy who falls down a lot.
Then the music crescendos.
And she says, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And then never comes back.
Oh, okay. They're not a perfect match for each other. I take
No,
it. Okay.
no.
All right. Seriously though, who does a masseuse marry? Another masseuse? So, because otherwise you're just going to be a dick and be like, come on, serious babe. Like, get my feet. Come on, please. It'd be impossible. Come on.
No, I know how that feels because I was a hairdresser before I became a doctor. And now it's like, you'll cut my hair, right? And I told him 8 years ago, when I graduate with my doctorate, I am not cutting your hair anymore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I still cut your fucking hair 10, 11 years later, whatever it's been.
Yeah, but it's not like I take pleasure in it. I'm not like, come on, babe.
Yes, you do.
Just cut my hair.
You're
Liz.
like, come on, save me.
Haircut's gonna hurt. me way more than it's gonna hurt you.
Just cut a little. Just come on. Just cut a little. No, it's like it's a job. It's a task that needs to be done. It's like doing laundry.
That you should be paying somebody else to do now. I am no longer a hairdresser and have not been for some time.
I don't want to spend that $30 that it would take, and I hate people that work at hairdress places. They all are tools.
Well, that's because how you make money as a hairdresser. Step 1, give a decent haircut. Step 2, flirt your fucking brains out.
Yeah, it's like it's now become like
it's a whorehouse.
Yeah, it's Hooters. The entire haircutting industry is just Hooters. And you know what? I want the barbershop type thing. I just want a bunch of black dudes to make funny jokes.
Yeah,
and
so
cut my hair.
That's where I get my haircut, and that shit costs like $50. So I don't get my hair cut very often.
Yeah, see.
But he shaves me with the straight razor too. We have a nice time. I like it.
Yeah. No, it's just not going to work, Jackie. But seriously, can you cut my hair just a little bit? Just come on, just a little bit.
One day you're going to wake up and I'm just going to have shaved you with the dog clippers in your sleep
like
when
everything,
you're passed out.
Eyebrows, eyelashes,
your
the
mustache.
whole everything. The whole 9 yards.
Carve my initials into your 2 chest hairs.
I'll just walk around and you call me Powder all day. Okay. All right, anyways, this movie happens. The dudes come back in after the hot tub, and strangely, they're completely dry. And they sneak into Santa's office, where they find a bunch of Santa photos, very poorly photoshopped. They're awesome. And now it's gift exchange time. And everybody is quite glum because Dean and Sadie she's sad about something, and Brian's like, hey, you're pretending to be Santa, and that's just not kosher with me, buddy. And the ladies are like, you're a bitch. No, you're a bitch. No, you're a bitch. No, you're a bitch. And Andy's like, I masturbated all over this place. And Nana is like, my career, where did it go? God damn it. So nobody wants to do the gift exchange.
Party goes south. Big hurry.
They're like, it's time you guys came clean with us. We want answers, damn it.
And they were like, we're Santa Claus. And they're like, no, fuck you. You're just delusional, weird Southern Californians.
You're going to murder us in our sleep, aren't you? Well, that too. But we can still be Santa Claus. I mean, it's not exclusive.
You guys haven't seen any small people walking around at night, right?
Right?
You stay in your rooms at night?
Yeah. Are you missing any underwear by any chance? I like that also her name is Mrs. Santa Claus.
Mary. Her name is Mary Claus.
Yeah, but he doesn't introduce her as Mary Claus. He's like, I'm Santa, and this is my wife, Mrs. Claus. Like, dude, I have a name.
Yeah, she goes, I'm Mary Claus at your service. Like, I've told you a million times, dickhead. My name is fucking Mary.
I'm not
Is
Mrs.
it?
Claus.
Or is she married to him, so he just calls her Mary?
Oh.
No, she says her name is Mary Claus because he introduces her as Mrs. Claus. She's like, I'm my own goddamn person.
Yeah, I have a first name. Either way is the point. And she also, during this entire scene, is giving everybody knife eyes. Cynthia Rothrock, throughout this movie, wants to kill everybody else in this movie. Like, I think she's just got, like, isn't it time we had a fight of some sort? And so, like, she's just, like, getting angry inside, and now she's, like, boiling over. Because, she is giving stink eyes. It's crazy. Okay.
Well, she should have apple cored a couple of people.
Yeah,
That
right?
would have made her feel better.
Yeah. Tone it down, lady. Take an apple break. It also is quite clear in this scene that everybody hates everyone. These people do not like each other at all.
Well, Brian and Constance are just assholes.
Uh-huh.
And then Molly and Andy like people because I guess they're not ruined by the world yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so...
Then there's Mom, who's on Quaaludes.
Mm-hmm, and sad about something. I think
Sad about her husband being a selfish dick who didn't get her a real gift.
She doesn't get him a real gift either. She
It's
sucks
different.
worse than he does.
I mean, he could have at least walked down to the beach that they keep showing.
He
and
actually saved her from doing dishes. That's something. She did nothing for him. Nothing.
Well, she said she believed in him, and she said she hadn't said that in a while.
Great. How about saying thank you for me doing the dishes all weekend? How about that?
Well,
Is
he
that
didn't.
something? Is that maybe something that you could say rather than just the usual?
No.
I love you, honey. Yeah.
You know what? I'm trying to spread my feelings here, and
How
you're
about
just
thank
shitting all
you?
over me. You know what? You shoved this starfish up your butt.
You remember like 6 years ago where I gave you a diamond ring and married you? Yeah, you also didn't say thank you for that. So maybe just a thank you for just something small, like doing the dishes all weekend. Maybe
Why don't you say thank you for me ripping my vagina for your 17-year-old butthole son that sleeps in a car and jizzes all over Santa's house?
Andy is not my child. We've been through this. I know it was my brother who did that, so how dare you?
They've got some problems.
They do have some problems in their marriage, yes. Great reenactment, by the way.
Does anybody want coffee? Cynthia Rothrock comes in. I got drinks and cookies. Die!
But get me those cookies.
Yeah, okay,
And then immediately they're mellowed out
Right.
like, oh, God, Christmas lights are so awesome.
Man. All right, so everybody's all pissed off, and Cynthia Rothrock finds Santa, and she's like, well, perhaps they just need to find the child within them. And so he goes to his very poorly wrapped filing cabinet.
This is one of those cheap-ass things that you buy your kids to put toys in and hope it lasts a year with wrapping paper on it.
With wrapping paper. It looks like shit.
It
You know,
looks
so
bad.
they don't show him opening it because as soon as he opens it, that wrapping paper is going to rip and the thing's going to fall over.
So first he finds Dean having a piss outside. Because you can't shoot a guy standing in front of bushes from behind. It looks like he's fucking taking a piss outside. God damn it.
He was mad about not getting tacos for dinner, and he's like, I'll show you.
And the rest of the family comes out, and he gives Andy a letter. And it's this letter that Andy wrote in when he was a little boy and was like, I just want my parents to be happy. And also, can I have the new Street Fighter game? And they're like, what? How did you get this? And so they realize that he's actually Santa, and then which causes Sadie to then make up with her Australian husband.
But first, you forgot to mention that Sadie also hijacked Andy's letter
Right.
and was like, oh, and please help me love my husband because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a total dickbag, but please help me love him. She doesn't even, she has to ask Santa to make her love him. So when she says, I love you later, that's bullshit. She didn't get him anything.
I didn't love you back then.
She got him lies.
I would have shit in a sock, but...
Gary Dean looks at her, and he's like, all right, well, see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Why has nobody ever thought about this? And maybe they should have by now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're really mad at somebody, you should shit in a sock and then hit them upside the head with it.
Man, that's horrible. That is absolutely horrible.
Oh my God!
You're gonna get shit all over yourself doing this. You have to hate somebody so much to ruin your bathroom, whatever you're wearing. It's just bad. I've seen someone throw shit, and it was like in a dire situation. So I was doing construction. Some of the guys who were bigger dickheads, they tipped the shitter on a guy. He was in there having his shit at lunch, and they tipped it on him. And then they shoved a pencil in the lock so that he couldn't get out. So he's just in this tipped over shitter and he can't get out, but he kicked his way out. And he emerged from that flying. He flew out the door, which was facing up, slinging handfuls of shit at anyone he could see because he was already covered in it. And he's like, I'm taking you fuckers with me. And I was just eating a sandwich from a good distance, watching it going, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but have you ever shit in a sock and hit somebody with it? Because it would probably only go on to them.
No, it's not. It's going to splash.
It's going to splash, man.
And you're shit in a sock? How did you even do that?
You just put it where your asshole is and hold it up there like a suction cup.
Take my wife, please.
I don't know if I'm laughing at shit in a sock or Sam's story thinking about somebody getting hit with a shit.
Okay. Either way, I'm moving on. So Santa gives Constance her letter, and Molly, we find out that Molly's 21, they're 10 years ago, which is like Molly's also being treated like a child this whole movie. She's fucking 21. Come on, man, grow up here. So they kiss and make up because they talk about mom dying back then. Oh yeah, they're all lovey. So Santa gives Brian his letter, and here we find out that Brian has got deep rooted mental issues because this letter is literally like, Santa, dear Santa, my parents are broken. Oh, they got a divorce that year. So can I get a super cool toy?
Well, it's made up shit too. This is like the weird one with Brian, because they have like a standoff.
Right.
They're like yelling at each other. You'll think, oh shit, the karate fight's gonna happen.
Looks like I got that note. Looks like they're gonna fight. They start circling each other.
Yeah, they're gonna fight.
Nope, they just talk about toys. God damn it.
And then we find out that if only he could get this peekaboo rocket blaster thing, that the other kids would stop making fun of him. So not only are his parents broken and they're taking it out on him, but the kids at school don't like him and they're bullying him.
And so he has
and
created...
hitting him with socks of shit.
Yes. And so he has created a fantasy world where this toy exists in great detail in the hopes that Santa will give it to him so that kids will start... Brian has got to see somebody.
Yeah, he's very fucked up.
He needs help.
And then later, he's going to make it, and it's a battle cake.
Right.
He makes his prototype for the peekaboo flying saucer or whatever it is, and he's like, this is going to change everything. And you're like, battle cake? I don't think it will.
It's a duct tape cake pan.
Right, with Q-tips and cornstarch is in there somewhere. And it looks like he stole some buttons off of a VCR.
It's insanely bad. Like, it's one of the worst props ever put together. Like, wow, bad. All right. So, everybody starts coming together and figuring out their lives. And we all, during the whole, while he's building things, we find out that Mrs. Claus doesn't know what toothpicks are because she gets lost at toothpicks when he asks for toothpicks. Okay.
My favorite is that Brian stays up all night because he did bring cocaine.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, maybe that's what he's using the cornstarch for. He's just huffing that. Yeah.
He's cutting the cocaine so he can use it all night instead of just, one bang and he's done.
Mm-hmm. And in the morning, Nana gives little Andy a very poor quality thrift store world atlas that she found.
I thought it was a book of maps to Middle Earth. And because it had that art quality to it. And then later his parents are like, well, you get to pick wherever we go for Christmas this year. And he goes, eyes on God.
We make for the Gap of Rohan. Okay.
I was going with Thailand, but what do I know?
They look at each other and then they go, he's my brother's son, isn't he? I hate you. Okay. Not my kid. All right, so Molly gives Brian a rocket pen. She's like, hey, I found this in Constance stuff, so I stole it and I'm giving it to you. It's a pen shaped like a rocket. Whee!
This she got from NASA.
Hey.
And she's a big nerd and she likes this stuff. But she tried to tell you that at the beginning of the movie, but you're a self-absorbed asshole who doesn't listen to anybody other than yourself, and you're high on cocaine, and you made a space cake.
Yes. And you need to see a doctor. Okay. Meanwhile, Santa has decided to give everybody a copy of their own headshot.
And most of these are not good.
No, they're not.
Like
She's
Andy's
wonderful.
head is halfway cut off.
Right.
Andy gives Molly a blank flash drive.
With his junk on it. Yeah. He says, I put my junk on here.
Right. So there's dick pics. There's some dick pics. Oh, cool.
Thanks.
Wow, good composition on this one.
She makes her sister look like a shifty snake.
Right.
And, God, why can I not remember the astronaut guy's name? Brian. He looks like he's taking a shit on the polo field.
Mm-hmm. Probably did. Put it in a sock.
Put it in a sock and hit somebody with it.
Well, speaking of Brian, he's also lifted the cookie recipe from Mrs. Claus and given it to Constance. I don't believe him when he says that, don't worry about it, because Mrs. Claus very early in the movie was like, yeah, I don't give this shit to anybody. No, Brian lifted that shit.
During his cocaine binge at night.
Yep. And so he's like, here's some cookie recipe and my boner. They're going out now. Yay. And then Mike pulls up.
Yeah. Did you notice that he pulls up and they've got the Chevy emblem bow tie on the front of the van gaffing taped to where you can't make it out?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I did spot that.
I did see that.
It's when you're making them for free, basically, you can't have any product placement in there.
No.
Chevy will be
No, you
like,
cannot.
we're going to sue you for putting us in your movie. You're like, oh, fucking whatever.
Right. I also like how it was shot so that the way that they edited it, it looks like Mike parked a really long ways away. Like, Mike, pull up. Dude, we got luggage. Bud.
Yeah.
He pulls up like right next to the bushes as revenge for all these rich tourists coming here. And he's like, take that. Your shit is going to get tangled in that holly and you're going to get scrapes all over your forearm.
Yeah. And then Santa walks up to him and he's like, hey, Mike, you also get a headshot. What? Why? Who took
Because
this
he's
picture?
stoned and he wants to see him get confused. You are freaking out, man.
Right. And then Santa says something about, hey, keep this all being Santa's secret, because last time I had a reindeer with some steam issues.
I did not get this.
I'm sorry, what, Santa? That doesn't make a lick of fucking sense.
Rudolph.
He's hit the
Steam-powered
cookies
reindeer.
pretty hard.
Yeah.
He's had more than the 2 he usually has.
Sure, Santa, you fucking wacko. And that's the end of the movie. They drive off down the hill. Everybody's happy. And, hey, if you're ever driving around Southern California and end up in a weird fog, be prepared to learn some life lessons. Yay.
And eat the best cookies of your life.
All right, question time. Sam is up first. Jackie is up first.
Who was the very best actor or actress in this movie? Who gets the gold star?
God, I'm sorry. I know that they look what I have to work with, but man, everybody just stinks so hard in this movie, and it's not their fault, but it's kind of their fault still. I'm gonna do the opposite. It's still my favorite, but the stinkiest. I think it's Gary Daniels. He just looks like he is fucking stoned the whole time. He's struggling to hide his Aussie accent and just mumble talks the entire. Like at one point, there's a line where he's sitting on the couch, and they're talking about where he's gone, where Andy has gone into Santa's office, and Gary Daniels goes, "What do you mean you went into Santa's office?" And then following line is by Brian. He's like, "Hey, just calm down," implying that Dean is supposed to be quite emotional in this scene, but Gary Daniels was just like, "Well, he's in Santa's office." I'm mad. I'm so mad right now.
I thought his best line was when he had to kiss his wife.
Oh, yeah. The uncomfortableness between the two.
And he was like, "Mwah," and then he like hugged her and you could just see the relief on his face. Like, okay, I did it.
But she's the exact same way. He comes up from behind and gives her one of those behind hugs, and she is cringing on camera.
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, God, let go."
Dude, I don't like you, Gary, sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Mike votes Gary Daniels.
Yeah, I vote Gary Daniels, too. Even though Daniel Bernhardt was trying the hardest.
Yeah, definitely.
That's Brian, right?
Yeah.
My question.
Well, I didn't get to answer.
Oh.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Fuck you, Sam.
Hit him with the sock.
Hit him with a sock full of shit. Okay, so my favorite was the dog.
Oh, God damn it. Well, who didn't fucking see that?
But if I had to pick a person, I would pick Brian Daniels because
Brian Daniels.
Gary Daniels,
Okay.
there we go. Like I said, I can't remember his fucking name.
Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star. No, not that guy. Scientist guy.
Daniel Bernhardt, then.
Daniel Bernhardt. I would have picked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He pulled off Swarmy pretty good.
Interesting. Okay, Sam.
Is Chris Mitchum the best Santa Claus of any of the Santa Claus movies we've done?
He has quite the fucking awesome ass laugh.
No, he doesn't. It sucked so bad.
I thought he did great. I'm going to say yes, Sam.
He's up there. I will give that. But the competition is not very stiff.
It's so unstiff that I'm putting him there.
I mean, there is the Santa that fights the terrorists. So that Santa is pretty awesome.
Is that the Norwegian one?
Yeah, the Finnish one.
Oh, Finnish, yeah. I liked that one. That Santa was pretty good, too.
Yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Yeah, I you know what? I think it's close enough that I think that we can have an accord and just say, yes, put him over the edge. Chris Mitchum is the best Santa we've ever seen in a shitty movie. So what was your guys' favorite karate move? You know,
when Cynthia Rothrock shoved those cookies into Brian's face.
Oh man!
And was like, "Eat one, motherfucker!" Like he didn't. I
don't want the cookie.
He was like, "I don't want it." She's like, "Eat it!" And she shoved the whole tray up into like right underneath his face. Like, "You won't eat one."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that's called the butter move, the butter technique. You know, in karate. Yeah, I could have gone for some karate in this movie.
It's so weird that it's only martial arts stars save 3 actors in a Christmas movie.
I know.
Not doing karate.
Not doing karate. Anybody else?
I just think that they should redo this movie, get all the same people back, and do karate at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Karate saves Christmas.
Yeah.
Let me throw out another title.
Too long to choreograph.
With Hogan as the villain.
You just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
This is like a karate tournament at Christmas.
Yeah, you just fight.
Then everyone looks like Star Wars Kid. That's what non-choreographed fighting and filmmaking looks like. Cameraman doesn't know what you're going to do. You don't know what you're going to do. Star Wars Kids everywhere.
Well, yeah, but then the winner gets to take a flight on Santa's magic sleigh.
Okay. You get to work. You can start working on it.
And the losers get hit with a shit shock.
With a shit shock.
Shit shock.
Shit shock. Shit.
Sock shit. All right. So
that coal is no longer appropriate.
The major one.
The major one. Does
every
this
time
film
we do
catch
a Christmas movie?
Well, I would like to ask it if you'd let me.
God. Oh shit.
This is Sam's thing.
Jesus, Dean. No, it's my thing.
Okay, Dean.
Does this movie capture the true spirit of Christmas? Sam, let's start with you.
Every ounce.
Okay.
It's his meaning of Christmas as much as possible.
In what way?
The family bullshit and loving each other and all that.
Gifts should come from the heart.
The fucking family bullshit that we all have to deal with right now. Yeah, you know, that fucking crap. I think Sam needs to catch the true spirit of Christmas.
I know. Fuck those people who love and care about me and want to know how I'm doing. Fuck you.
All that fucking dumb shit that's going on right now.
Probably want to buy me a present, too. Well, I want a PS5, and you know what? I'm probably not going to get one because all you can afford is a goddamn hug, you fucking loser. Why are we friends?
Sam, I want to tell you something that you haven't heard in a very long time. I love you. God damn it, PS5, cunt!
Yeah, no, see, I'm on the opposite end. I'm like, true spirit of Christmas, having to buy stuff is stressful.
Right. Jackie, your take. True spirit of Christmas?
I'm going to go with Sam that yes, because, you know, it really was about accepting others and their hopes and dreams and learning to tolerate assholes that you have to see on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And
that had a son with your brother.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that the big one was giving gifts from the heart instead of, well, I got to go out.
Ooh, that's good, Jackie.
I got to go out and buy something for this person.
Right.
Because that's not what Christmas is about. Yes, we all like opening presents, but you know what? Some of us can afford more than others.
That right there might be like one of the strongest true spirits of Christmas we've done.
Yeah, because
like
usually
that's a big one.
There's some kind of grand gift or shit in a sock.
All right.
But, you know, this one was, I'm giving you this or I'm telling you this because I care and this is what I have to give.
Yeah, I can't really contribute, but that's undisputed. That is the true spirit of Christmas, and this film does deliver that. And but I would add, I think also another staple is everybody has to learn a valuable lesson and everybody does learn a valuable lesson. So via the power of Christmas. So definitely, this is a 100% Christmas movie. Die Hard can suck it. Final recommendations. Jackie, go first.
No.
Whoa. Okay.
This was boring. If you like corgis, there's only a few scenes with Tess in it.
Jesus.
Fast forward.
Huh.
I just didn't like it. It was draggy and it was slow, and I just wanted to punch everybody. And, at the end, even when they're redeeming themselves, you're still like, go fuck yourself to like everybody on this cast.
Right.
Except for Pop and Nana.
No, they can go fuck themselves too.
But they're weirdos too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I can't get down with any of these people. I can't relate. They're all fucking dickbags, even after the redemption period. Nope.
Okay. Sammy.
It's a do barely. It is as boring as Jackie says. And that croquet scene, I checked out.
It's insane. It's totally
I checked
insane.
out.
You can't do that in movies. Go ahead.
It's so weird that you have to watch it. Because it's karate people not doing karate and just doing the last thing that any of these people should be doing is this movie.
Uh-huh.
And it's still Christmas. So
Okay. I give it a mega do. I fucking love this movie. I don't get you guys at all. This movie stinks as hard as they come. And I've been spending most of my life living in a riffer's paradise, because that's what this is. This is a riffer's paradise. It's a blast. There's so much fucking dumb shit that happens. Not Nanner's business, but like the writing is so fucking terrible, and so many screwed up lines, and so many weird acting decisions throughout the whole thing that we can't even I think you have to watch this movie. I think it's fucking awesome. But the croquet scene you have to watch the croquet scene because you're like, who the fuck would do this? Why would you do this?
Somebody's kneeling. Oh, look, they're coming up. Oh, they're going to fall. They're going to fall over. Nope. Okay, they made it up.
That's so bad. But yeah, I think this is one of the worst movies we've done. I mean, like, legitimately, it checks every single box of, you didn't ever watch a movie before making one, did you? But he's made a shitload of them.
yeah. That's what happens if you make them that fast.
Yeah. So I love it. I think you guys are crazy. It was fun. Next week is Sam's pick. I hope we're doing a Christmas movie, Sammy. What you got?
We are, in fact.
The 12... let me guess. The 12 Tits of Christmas.
Nope.
Shit Sock 2, The Shitning.
It's been too long since we've had any CVD in our life. So we're doing Casper Van Dien's 2017 third foray into the tornado genre, Christmas Twister.
Christmas Twister.
Yay!
All right, that sounds great. What's it streaming on? Do you know?
Tubi for sure. It may be on Prime.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a good week. Get to the chopper.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. 43 days to go.